Welcome to the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi After the Show podcast. And you know what? I bet you didn't know that today is National Redhead Day.
Well, we mentioned it in Three Things to Know.
Okay, so you did know. But, you know, every day at our house is National Redhead Day, Jodi.
That's a sweet thing to say, Murph. Well played. Well played. I'm reading about it. It's so interesting to me. I'm redheaded, and the reason it's interesting to talk about, there's so many interesting actual biological scientific facts about redheads.
And there's stereotypes, too. Some of which are true, some are not.
Okay.
Such as?
Let's not put anybody in a box. But the truth of the matter is, anytime I see a redheaded child or I see another redhead, there's automatically this connection, but especially children. You know what I do, Murphy.
Oh, yeah. You very much empathize, and you want to let them know how special.
I walk right up, and I go, I hope you love your hair because it's awesome. Yeah. Now, I had adults say those sort of things to me. When I was a child, strange adults would, in the grocery store, just would say stuff to me about my hair. It was very bright and orange when I was a little girl. And when you're a child, you want to be like everybody else. So, of course, I did not like it. Of course, I wanted my hair to be brown or blonde, or like I didn't know any other redheaded children. Maybe a distant cousin that I saw once in a great while.
Did any
my cousin Scotty.
Redhead adults ever tell you the same thing that you're telling redheaded kids?
Not that I remember, no. But
it's kind of a different time today, right? I mean, I don't know that the redheaded stigma was there. It's weird that you were, picked on in school for it.
Kids are always picked on for being different. Anything that's different. Kids are always picked on, period. So I was definitely picked on because of the hair and all of that. But anytime I see a redheaded child, I walk right up and I go, I hope you know how beautiful it is, how different it makes you. And even on days you don't like it, one day you're going to like it. You will earn it. You'll earn that hair and you'll like it. So the interesting story about it, I felt like an oddball. My mom, blonde. My dad, dark hair. It's a recessive gene. I learned this when I was in high school because of a project. I'll get to all the fun facts, I promise, because there's some really good ones, including the recessive gene thing. Mm-hmm. But when in high school, I think it was my junior year, we had a speech teacher who said, okay, it's time to all of you, a small classroom of us, I want you to pick something about yourself and get up and do and you have time to prepare for it. And I want you to have visual aids and all that, but you're going to do a report and speak to all of us. We did that a lot in that class, obviously, but something about yourself. Pick out something. And I was sitting there thinking, well, I don't want to talk about the fact that my dad just passed away. I don't know if anybody's interested in the barn that was in the backyard that just got knocked down. I'm trying to think about all these things about me. And then I thought, oh, wait. I have this red hair that I have finally started to like because by the time high school came around, I liked it.
Yeah.
It was big hair time too.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I walked up to her desk. She was a very biting sort of teacher, like careful what you ask her. Ask her the wrong thing and she would shame you. Like she was just biting.
Wow.
But I said, I had a way with her though. She and I sort of liked each other, even though I'm sure I got in trouble a couple times. But anyway, I walked up to her desk that day and I said, Miss Keene, do you think it would be interesting and okay for me to do my report about my hair? And she puts her coffee cup down and she goes, you better. Meaning, yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you should have come to. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, great. So I didn't have Google.
Yeah.
So I went to the library and I did all my research and I made some notes and I learned some things. For instance, and anyway, I did this report, the work on this report. I was staying with my grandma that night. So Mama was looking at my poster board. We'll get to all that. And she was so excited to learn this stuff too. 1% to 2% of the world's population are natural redheads. It's a very small percentage, which was my poster. This is how you did reports back then, kids.
Yeah.
I had a poster board, and so I drew a crowd of people. All these faces and all the different hair in the eyes, and some people were like a sports event. Mm-hmm. And I put one redhead in the middle, like, somewhere, not center, but it's like, and to show that that's how odd it is, like the rarity.
Yeah.
And my grandmother was like, oh, that's so funny. Can I keep that, Jodi, when you're done? Anyway, so I thought that was super interesting.
You don't have that poster board anymore, do you?
Of course not.
Oh, that would be really sweet if you did.
I know.
Our kids would love that.
Did you get that poster board in advance, or did you wait till 9 o'clock the night before?
I was a junior in high school. I probably drove to the drugstore to buy it myself.
Yeah.
My mom was out of town, I think, and I was staying with my grandmother. I remember doing the report at her house. Highest concentration of redheads is in Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ireland right after that. The ginger gene, and this is one I've learned. One of my friends who is a scientist, my PhD friend, Rachel, used to nickname me this at times. Red hair is caused by a mutation in the MC1R gene, which is recessive trait. She used to say MC1R, she would send that to me, and I would have to go, oh, wait, that's the redhead gene. That's what she's talking about.
Okay.
Other things. Murphy, you know about this, the pain sensitivity thing.
Yeah, that's a real thing. Redheads are much more sensitive to pain.
It's weird. Like the reception of pain. It's not like if I get punched, it's going to feel different than if you get punched, but it's something to do with the nerves. So anesthesia comes into play. The dentist is an interesting place for me to be, because I always say to the dentist, real redheads, you need to know this. Maybe you're not supposed to be feeling all of this, because you need to make sure that they understand that there's a pain reception thing. Because so many times years ago when I was younger at the dentist, I would be like, I can feel this. And they'd be like, there's no way you can feel this. I'm like, I feel exactly where that is. Please don't. Please stop. And so anyway, a lot of redheads require more anesthesia. That MC1R gene has something to do with the pain that you feel.
Yeah, well, and
the receptors.
When we were in the operating room for you to, when you were giving birth to Phoebe, they had to give you more anesthesia because you said you were, feeling that. Now the good news is everybody was prepared and they understood and so, the guy who was administering the anesthesia,
the anesthesiologist,
knew,
I remember him because oh my gosh, well, it was a scheduled C-section, so I had not been laboring all day. I was fully alert already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was a scheduled section. We checked in at 11. I was on the table by 1 p.m. And yes, when you have a C-section, you feel a lot of weight and pressure and you feel certain things. But I was feeling pain also, and I wasn't supposed to. And I remember looking up and I was looking at him and I was like, I'm feeling some stuff. And he was like, and you said, yeah, please, can you? And he goes, okay. And literally I felt nothing after that.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And he was great. He was great. Redheads have fewer hair strands on average than other people.
Oh.
But the hair strands are thicker and more coarse.
Okay.
I will tell you also slower to gray. Shout out.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't mean you don't gray. You actually usually go white instead of gray if you're a natural redhead.
It's weird to me how it's faded over the years. Because it really was. It was so very orange, and when you and I first got married,
it's more strawberry blonde now. But when I was a little girl, those pictures, that's not the film. It was orange.
Does red hair too take more if you want to dye it or change the color?
No idea. I don't know. I don't know if it takes more. I have to ask a hairdresser. Eye color. Brown is the most common eye color for redheads, but blue is the rarest combination. I know a lot of blue-eyed redheads too.
That's
I'm
the rarest. Yeah,
rare.
It's rare.
It's very rare.
I'm trying to think of any other redheads that I have known, because I thought most of them had blue eyes.
Good for you. You've seen some rarities. Yeah, my daughter, my friend Jerry Ann has a daughter who's redheaded, and she has blue eyes. And Jerry Ann told me that it's supposedly the rarest combo hair eye color in the world.
Okay,
I'm like, really? Bees are apparently more attracted to people with red hair.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Color? I don't know. I don't know the depth of that.
Probably because you smell sweet.
I knew it. I'm going
to take you. Okay. I'm going to take you back to my grandmother's house on that night when I was doing the report. And of course, I did it the night before it was due.
Yeah.
Because that's how I rolled in high school. Murphy, you'll love this part. What I found, I didn't have Google, so I found it in books, and I checked those books out from the library, and I did my whatever sources, and I did all of that. But what I learned more about, it's not this, not all this cool information about the pain sensitivity and the hair and all that. But what I learned was the legend and the folklore and the lore from way back in the day when people were super superstitious. Mm-hmm. And one of them was that people with red hair during like Salem witch trials, a witch. automatically you're just a witch because you look so different. Your hair is red and it's not natural. It didn't seem natural to their eye, especially people with very red. And it was like, oh, that's evil. Burned at the stake. People thought they were vampires. Yeah.
Oh, you'd have been happy with that.
That is.
Maybe not.
Aren't you glad you live in current times and not that time?
So much so.
Aren't leprechauns, don't they all have red hair?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
They're even more rare than redheads, aren't they?
With blue eyes.
The other thing that I remember learning, well, two things I'll tell you. When I stood up and did the report, I remember after the report, everybody was doing, some people did their reports on that he used to go fishing with his dad all the time. Like things you learned about your classmates. It was really interesting. But in the hall later, people were like, well, that was really cool. I had no idea. You were such a unicorn. I got told those things. But
what grade did you get?
I got an A.
All right.
I remember getting an A and that being my favorite part of that class because I didn't think I could even do it.
It comes from a real place, though. It makes it very convincing. I mean, you really, you identify with it so well.
Yeah.
Even if you were a little bit nervous, you'd still be able to talk about it.
Yeah. Murphy, you'll be interested in this, though. One of the biggest things I learned in my research when doing the Redhead Project in high school is that I learned that because of the recessive gene in my deeper reading, because I had to do a written report too, and the poster and the presentation. But one of the things that I learned in my reading was that I was not likely to have a redheaded child. I was learned then and there that it likely skips generations.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I didn't know what the...
And it did play out that way, didn't it? Because neither of our girls are...
If you would have had a recessive gene for red hair, then boom. And so somebody told me that you need to date a redheaded guy.
Oh, so if y'all are both redhead, then your kids would be redhead?
I think if we were both redheaded, we would both have that recessive gene, and it could potentially end up that way. Look, I'm not a scientist. I can't really speak to that, but I was told that. I remember reading that, and that was the first time I realized that. I won't have redhead children. And then I dated a guy with red hair for a short time.
Yeah.
We would be out in public together, and people would go like, "Oh, look at you guys." And one of my girlfriends was like, he's your guarantee to have a redheaded child.
Yeah.
So is it a guarantee that Taylor or Phoebe will have a redheaded kid?
It's not guaranteed, but it's...
Because the other person has to carry the recessive gene.
Also,
Somebody does. Yeah. The thing about Taylor and Phoebe is that they both have
brown.
My hair color. Mm-hmm. But Taylor is more fair-complected, like Jodi is, and more susceptible to sunburn than Phoebe.
Yes.
Phoebe will tan more like I do. Although I don't think either of them really got my olive skin completely, did they?
No.
So so parts of the different traits, and they're both blue eyes. Mm-hmm. They both have blue eyes too.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting stuff.
And mine are hazel.
One other thing about redheads that I just read, and I feel like I remember doing this back in the day for the Redhead Project, but vitamin D production. Redheads are more efficient at producing vitamin D when exposed to sunlight, which is because of the fair skin. But maybe a lot of people with fair skin are too.
That's interesting too. Does that result in the freckles?
I mean,
all that extra vitamin
that has
D?
nothing. Yeah, that's the freckles is defense against the sun.
Yeah,
your skin doing what it can do to protect you. And that's for anyone with fair skin. That's when you get freckles. That's what your skin is trying to do.
Yeah.
Do you have a problem with people who call you redheaded nicknames?
Not anymore. No, okay. I like it.
I was just curious if like red or ginger, you don't like those.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. No, I love nicknames because I like to call people nicknames.
Right, you shorten everybody's name.
So I really like when somebody calls me a nickname as long as it's sweet. When I was a little girl, the nicknames were part of it.
Yeah.
The worst one was usually from boys, and it was I'd rather be dead than red on the head.
Yeah, well, see, as kids, they could be more mean than an adult's going to be.
Of course.
An adult's just going to say, hey, red.
I'd rather be dead than red on the head sometimes greeted me on the bus. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it was more than one person because they got to where they said it together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is the reason, and I'm really glad that you will walk up to any younger redhead and have that conversation to understand that, yeah, even if anybody picks on you right now, one day you will embrace it, because as you get older, everybody begins to envy the fact that you've got, or they want to emulate it. That's why you see so many, I don't want to say fake redheads, but it's a very popular color to dye hair today.
Oh, yeah, it's very, well, I'll say this. When you're younger, you do want to fit in. It's such a part. You need that. We all need connectivity and community. So you really need that more than anything. That's why kids cling to their families, even when their families are messed up. Or you need that. You want to fit in. Period. So anything about you that makes you not fit in, makes you feel weird, is seen as negative. As you get older, no matter what your circumstance, you are trying to stand out. It's so ironic.
It is ironic.
Because we all need to stand out.
Yeah.
You do, to make it in this world, and for your own sort of self-acceptance identity, you need to stand out. So it's just one of those things I always tell people, and I hope you feel this way too if you're a redhead, especially if you're young. I earned this hair. I earned it. Every insult I got as a kid, or every time somebody picked on me about it, I get a compliment today. When you meet redheads, you just automatically have that in common.
Yeah.
And it's not just young children that I'll talk to. I love to talk to young children about their hair. And I'm honest with them. Like, I didn't like mine when I was little. I hope you like yours, because it really stands out. It gives you an advantage in life. I try to tell them that, whether they believe me or not. But I ran into a young woman at a parade not long ago. I think I told you about this conversation, Murphy. She was maybe 19 years old. She was like Phoebe's age. And she started speaking to me about my hair, because she had almost the same exact hair color as me. And we're like, hey, hey, Red. And we were picking with each other. And she said, I've learned, I guess she was asking if I had had the same experience. She said, I've learned that there are certain men who just have a certain liking. There are certain men who like redheads especially. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, it's true. And when I was a little girl, and growing up into my tweens, as I was becoming a tween and interested in boys and stuff like that, I remember my mom, shout out to my mom, for having that conversation with me. She's like, you're going to find that there are some men who who automatically you will turn their head because they like redheads.
Yeah.
And I was like, really? And you can't believe that when you're a little kid. You think you're an ugly duckling. You don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. So you meet people and you have stuff in common automatically.
The stereotype of being feisty. I don't know how, you probably have known more redheads than I have, but, and you're feisty, and it's in a positive way. I think it's really one of the things that's attractive about you. It's a good trait for you to have, but I have certainly known redheads who, kind of had that edge to them also, the feistiness. It's a stereotype, but I don't know if it's true.
I don't know how to answer that, except to say that maybe if you grew up being picked on hard and heavy, and you didn't like yourself also, then as a result of it, or you didn't like yourself and you had the picking, it makes you more defensive in the world.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm also a softie. I don't think I'm feisty every day. I'm feisty when needed.
Well, I wonder if
normal.
Also the sensitivity for pain receptors also heightens any sort of emotional experience or reaction to something. If you're happy, you're really happy. If you're mad, you're really mad. I don't know if there's any science to that or not.
I've heard that there's science to people with red hair with that gene. I can't name it again, whatever the gene is.
The one that starts with an M?
MC1R. I've also read about, and you guys can both speak to this, sensitivity to temperature. There's something about that gene, and when you're hot, you're extra hot. When you're cold, you're extra cold.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay.
No, I thought that was all women.
Probably so.
Missed any part of the show? Get it all on the Murphy, Sam, and Jodi podcast.